Welcome back, guys. Ironing Out the Kinks. You're here with Luke and Chelsea, a very happily married couple who are also very kinky. Enjoy talking about all things fun, sexy, and a bit naughty. So, not going to bother with an intro. Fuck that shit. Let's get straight into it.
I'm going to bother with some begging.
Oh, okay.
YouTube. Oh. Pause the episode. Why you sound so disappointed?
Not enough people are doing it.
But people are doing it.
People are, but do more people. We know how many of you are listening. We can see the stats.
Yeah, so everyone that's listening to this episode, please just pause it, go to YouTube, type Ironing Out the Kinks, press subscribe, come back, and we'll be eternally grateful.
There you go. Right, let's get on with it. Top 100 kinks.
Top 100. So we're starting off with cross-dressing.
Cross-dressing?
Yes, it's actually been a request this week, so I thought it's one that we'll dive into.
Yeah, I'll read the story we got. And this is what kind of drove us, I think, on this one. We got a message from somebody on social media, and it's really interesting because I've never really understood cross-dressing, really. And then once I read this, I was like, actually, I can see how that's very easily, a sexualized kink. So, hello, you two. New listener here. Been enjoying so far. Don't know which category this will slide into, but here's a blip of one of my kinks. When I was in college, a girlfriend of mine one night said that she always wanted to feel lipstick on a girl. She asked if she could put some on me and give me a big fat kiss. I obliged. It was a little fun make-out session and nothing much more. A few weeks later, she asked if she could put some more makeup on me. I'm an open guy. Why the hell not? Good lad. When we did that, she got a little more aggressive with the kiss again, and I enjoyed the conversation while she made up my face. Progress a few months, and I show up to her place, and she has a little bit more of an outfit for me. From there, we got a little more all out, and the full feminization happens. Didn't really know what this was at the time, 18 years ago, and the world wasn't as open. Well, we had a blast. She treated me like a lady and set a kink for me moving forwards. Fast forward today, and my wife will help me dress up here and there, and typically these are later nights. We use strap-ons, toys. She has tried to fist me, but that takes work. It's just a total one-off femininity thing. Life as a masculine man, but we have had our fun.
Nice.
I think, yeah, when I read that, I was like, I can see how he's almost been like slow conditioning into that becoming a kink.
This is what I said about other kinks before about bringing them up with people. If you come off the bat and just be like, cross-dressing, I want to fuck ya, people will be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. But you need to be slowly.
Especially if you're like a masculine man, you'd be like, what? But again, if you said to me, like, I want to put lipstick on you and kiss you, I want to feel like you're a woman, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of sexy. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And obviously he's been slowly moved into the sort of cross-dressing side of thing, and the feminization. Yeah. Which again is, I can see as well with it being a massive switch over from masculine, I'm dom, you're sub, to suddenly, not only are you sub, you're almost like role playing. You're completely out of that role. You're completely out of what you normally are into this feminine type role, very stereotypical feminine type role, which I think is really fucking cool.
So I've done a bit of research on it, and surprisingly enough, the vast majority of men that claim to cross-dress are heterosexual men in marriages or in long-term serious relationships. You got a kind of smallish percentage of them are bisexual men, and an even smaller pool of them are gay men.
So what's the driving factor for them?
So there's a few driving factors, and again, this is the internet for you. The two main driving factors don't really like each other. Okay. So you've got the one driving factor of somebody who it's sexualized. They feel turned on as a woman. They feel turned on at the fact that they get to leave their masculinity behind for a night, like you say, probably switching up from a dom to sub for an evening. And that's where they get their sexual kink from. And then you have a really non-sexualized version of it where men love the feel of women's clothes more than they did that. So there was one guy I was reading, he was saying it's not sexual for him whatsoever. And before he got into it, he'd be often walking, down a street or something, and a woman would walk past in a dress or a cardigan, and his instant thought would be like, I wonder how that feels against them. That looks really comfortable, as opposed to men's t-shirt and jeans that you all wear day in, day out. So you have the really unsexy, sensual side of just feeling like a woman, feeling feminized, feeling the clothing, feeling different materials, having that moment where you can go online and look at the vast women's clothing out there as again opposed to men, and just having a little break from your reality.
So is one of them like sexualizing clothes in a way? So if in my head, I think of it like from what you've just described, that you'll have, you'll see women's clothes as being much more pretty, much more like display, whereas men's clothes tend to be quite bland.
Yeah.
Whereas women's clothes will be much more, you got so much more variety and so many more colours.
So it's almost like that jealousy of women get it, why don't we? And it's taking yourself out of your life for a moment and just doing something that you wouldn't do.
Being able to experience that complete opposite, that complete thing.
You don't necessarily, you don't want to be somebody who's transitioning in any way within that field. You don't want to be a woman. You just want to, for a moment, not feel like a man. And interestingly enough, there's a few different angles of this, but typically if you were to hear someone coming out as a cross-dresser within a relationship or a marriage, most people's thoughts will be, well, that's not going to last, that's going to crumble down, he'll come out as gay further along the line, he might want to be a woman further along the line. A male co-worker or a boss will lose respect because he's a cross-dresser. Yet there's this argument of men have been cross-dressing since they were children, and it was adorable them then putting on a dress or wanting using mummy's lipstick and things like that. It's adorable then, but then and they feel cute and they feel like a girl for a moment, but then they want to fuck that all off and go play with their trucks. And it's like, that's cute as a child, but then when a man has that almost same thought process of, I just want to rid myself of masculinity for 5 minutes, it's like, I'm losing some respect for you, your life's not going to work out. And it's just it could be a kink, or it could just be a feeling that they want to feel. Yeah,
I think it's probably not that well explored, to be honest.
No.
From
it was initially explored as a mental disorder.
Most kinks were,
yeah, but it hasn't moved on a lot from what I see in that area. And the people within that lifestyle, depending on your reason for wanting to do it, are quite against each other, which again is not quite that common in kink areas.
No, it's not conducive to enabling an open conversation, is it? Like,
exactly.
If you're like trying to kibosh somebody else down for doing what you enjoy, but because they like it for different reasons, surely you just be like, yeah, man, you enjoy doing it, I enjoy doing it, don't really care why you enjoy doing it. Let's make this more less taboo and more normal, so that we don't have to you don't have to be feeling any shame about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's
the same way where, like, for me, if we're looking at the sexual side of it now, it's the same way as a big or hotshot finance executive in London will want to give away his power for an evening for a dominatrix and be shut in a cage and force-fed dog food or something like that. It's like letting go of your everyday life and just playing the role of someone else to feel something different in that moment, and just so happens to be kind of sexually turns you on as well.
Yeah. Well, if you can sexualize it, why not?
Yeah.
You know, if it goes into two, allow it to be sexualized. That's good. Just
for the record, I'd totally fuck you in a dress and lipstick.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Oh, actually, here's one I've also seen a lot of.
Yep.
A lot of really strong men, what I was reading. So people...
Stop it. Stop trying to...
You reminded me of them.
Okay, all right, I'm in.
But like athletes, men, and there was like a...
So I'm also pretty fit, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. But like these kind of guys who are buff and muscly and all about fitness and being the best male version of themselves, essentially they can be.
Very masculine physique, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of that. Well, like a little switch of with their wife, they'll want to dress up, have lipstick on and have an evening of that.
I feel like it's very similar to, like you say, like high-powered CEOs and stuff. Bernie Ecclestone.
Yeah.
Where he got caught in a dungeon with a load of women dressed as Nazis. You know, it's that kind of thing. Yeah, a bit mental, but love it. Yeah, it's that kind of thing where you're spending so long being outwardly masculine. I can see the attraction. I don't know if it's for me.
No.
But if you would fuck me, maybe one day, maybe, you know, maybe. And like
maybe.
I say, we're always evolving sexually.
We've
I
got
would
the
never
rest
say
of our
never.
lives together. We might have exhausted all avenues and be like, ready to get that lipstick out.
Now, yeah. But no, I think for starters, the guy who sent the message, class.
Yeah.
I really, I love that. And I love that somebody's so willing to bring it to the forefront of a conversation.
Yeah.
And in quite an eloquent way, not just saying, oh, I really fucking love this. It's kind of explained how he's gone through it step by step and that's helped me understand it because I didn't understand it before.
It also goes to show the evolution of kinks as well. When we're like, where do they come from? Well, we've had an experience at some point where it's kind of set with us.
Yeah.
It just went from his girlfriend at the time saying, I'd love to kiss you with some lipstick on. And now fast forward 18 years, he has a kink of cross-dressing.
Yeah. It's just so cool.
Yeah. Do you know what I just thought? You know, you probably won't know.
Brilliant.
Katie Price's ex-husband, Alex Reid.
Oh yeah, MMA fighter, yeah.
Yeah, he's cross-dresser.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, and he's openly happy to talk about it. And
I don't think many men are going to walk up to him and you know, say some bad comments to him.
No, but I just...
Or he can bang.
That's what I was just saying about the fit athlete men. He's open with it.
Fair.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I think there's definitely more of a conversation that should be had openly about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously a thing. And if more than one person enjoys it, if one person enjoys it, there's more than one person that enjoys it.
And there's porn out there, as
and
we always say.
Out there for it, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's a really interesting one. And again, I'd like to think, and this is how I'm a dreamer. I'd like to imagine that somebody's listening to this and hears this and thinks, I do want to do it. And now I've got the courage to kind of broach that subject with my partner. Yeah. And then, or just think, I am going to go home and try on a dress.
Well, that's it. It hasn't got to have sex in it. It could just be for yourself. So could there be some self-gratification at the end of it? You in a dress, you're looking down and rather than seeing your boxers around your ankles, you've got a pretty little dress above your dick.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, women's underwear. Joey from Friends said it right.
Yeah.
So many different types of women's underwear. Men, you've got briefs or boxers.
I'm always asking you to put my underwear on.
I just can't. They just don't fit.
I just want to see like your bulge with my little thong on.
Let's not get into this now. You start getting me horny, and then we've got to concentrate on the rest of the episode. Right. Okay, that's a really good one. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. What's the other one we're going to cover today?
This one's for you to take over for us.
Yes. What is it? I can't remember. I know we discussed it.
Dirty talking.
Dirty talking. So this is different.
Also, like texting and the build up.
Yeah.
That whole shebang.
Okay. I feel like I'm a bit of a connoisseur at this.
Absolutely. You take this one.
So this is different. We've talked about like verbal degradation before. Yeah. This isn't necessarily the same.
No.
Can incorporate it. Mm-hmm. Verbal degradation is almost like a byproduct of dirty talk. But dirty talk, I feel like so many people aren't very good at it. No. And the better you get, the better it is. Some people, I'm sure, don't like dirty talk. It makes them cringe or they just feel uncomfortable. Absolutely fine. But like we've said so many times, that foreplay starts at the start of the day. Mm-hmm. You know, I've just come. We you know, I was out. I had to go and do something, run an errand before we were going to record, and I text you just some filth whilst I was out.
Oh God, yeah.
Glad it stuck with you, because I'm horny and I'm like, I'm going to do that to you. Mm. I'm going to do that once we've recorded. You're gonna get some good shit, you know. But there's so many ways to utilize this, and we say it all the time. We're going to say this for every single episode we ever do, for however long we do this, hopefully for years and years to come. But it's communication. Mm. So in my past, before we were together, when we got together, you know, one of our first conversations was, what are you into sexually? And for me, that was so important to understand. So I knew how to talk to you. Yeah. So I knew exactly how to press your buttons. If you don't know, and you just go off past experience, you might be doing the absolute most in turning that person off. Everyone's different. Everyone's a different jigsaw puzzle, and you got to put it together. And when it comes to talking to people, as long as you're good at it and have confidence, you know, that's the main thing for me, where I could say something to you and you could look at me a bit shocked. Not like you would, but somebody else might look at me a bit like, I don't know. If I know that turns you on, and then I just stare at you and I'm like, no, that's happening. Mm. That's what it is. I'm gonna, like, you're gonna taste yourself on my fingers and you're gonna fucking love it. And then as soon as they realize it's that kind of role play a little bit again, as soon as it's like, oh, this is serious, like oh God, and people just melt. Yeah. I do it. If you just hit me up with some filth one day, I like kind of melt. I'm like, oh fuck. So you can do this throughout the day. You know, again, for people who maybe feel like there's a little bit of a little bit of things have gone a bit stale, perhaps, you can just chuck it out there. Just be like, oh, my dick just keeps getting really hard today. I just keep thinking of you. That's just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's just a very easy thing to say. And then your partner might be like, really? Like, it might just give them a little twinge and go, really? What were you thinking about? And if you don't know what to say here, if you're like, oh shit, I don't know, this is where you kind of need to practice. You kind of need to, like, not practice in a mirror or anything, but you need to be thinking about it in your head. What would they enjoy?
The thing is, I think people, when it comes to talking dirty, they panic themselves so much. They're like, oh, fucking hell, I need to come up with a big elaborate story and I'm not very good at thinking on the spot. And you don't. You could just rehash over a sexual experience that you had with that person and just explain it. You don't have to change anything that happened in it. Just explain, I was thinking about that time when we...
Yep.
And that person who's receiving that will be like, oh yeah, God, I remember that.
Yeah.
And this is it. That talking dirty isn't about making up elaborate sexual stories, which is what I think a lot of people might kind of think it is, or they've got to be...
Or a scenario where they're like, I'm gonna...
Yeah, or they've got to be like extra sexy with it. No, you can just rehash over things that you've done, talk about things that you're gonna do or that you've said that you both want to experience or something like that.
Yeah.
It hasn't got to be, you haven't got to use too much brain power with it.
Absolutely. And it's, so one of my favorite things to do, I'll be like, I'll talk about when we've had sex with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, do you remember when I bent you over and you were eating a pussy and I made you come? And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I do. And that turns me on as well. I'm like turning myself on with it.
Yeah.
And you can also, this is where I mean with the communication piece. If you were to say to me, like, I've got a fantasy of you wearing a dress and you fucking me dressed as a woman, just, you don't have to make some big elaborate story. You'd be like, imagine I'm in a dress. What lipstick would I be wearing? Make them kind of paint the picture for you. And then they kind of paint it and you're like, how would you want me to fuck you? What would you want to do? Would you want to sit on my face and feel like my lipstick lips against your pussy? I don't know. But, you know, you don't need to go crazy. It's like, it's the fucking in-betweeners, isn't it? She's like, talk dirty to me.
Gonna fuck your fucking...
Fuck your fucking fanny off, you twat. That's an example of someone who's panicked.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. You literally just need to describe what you like or what they like and do it in really slow detail. Don't say like, oh yeah, I'm going to bend you over and fuck you. Be like, I'm going to like push you over the back of the sofa. I'm going to slide your underwear down and you're not allowed to move.
Yeah, I'm going to push down on your spine and arch your back for you. And
I'm going to open your legs slowly. Yeah. I'm going to move my hand up your thigh. I'm going to wait until you're dripping wet for me. And that's when I might let you feel me inside you. You know, that is... all of that is, I'm going to bend you over and fuck you.
Yeah.
Just in really, really slow sort of slow bites. And if you're still like, I'm so shit at imagining this kind of stuff, it's mental, but there's like loads of erotic novel stuff. Like there's some really filthy erotic stuff on like Reddit and shit.
Yeah.
You just go on there and read how people describe different scenarios and be like, okay, yeah, that's the kind of thing my partner likes. He enjoys, you know, the idea of me putting a finger in his ass. Okay, how can I incorporate that into a bit of dirty talk? It's such a powerful tool. It really, really is. And it's so important. I personally believe this. It's so important in maintaining a healthy sexual relationship is being able to say it.
Yeah.
Because nobody can just do what you want without them knowing that's what you want. You know what I mean? You need to be able to say, I really like this. I really would enjoy this. And that's where you can build from. Nobody's ever just had sex with somebody and it's been the best ever unless you've just perfectly clicked with somebody. You have to kind of communicate about it first. That's why I've never had a one night stand because one night stands are fucking bullshit. Because who's getting anything good from that? No one.
So like the text element of it, like you touched on, this is a really good thing to do throughout the day or if you're away from each other.
Yeah. We talk a lot about people being away from each other, which I think is really good because it happens more than you think.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of messages in from people who are away from each other. And there's you need to remember as well how we started off. Like, I know we were long distance, but even if we lived within the same town or 2 towns over, we're not with each other every night. We're not going to see each other every day. We have commitments and work. We might only see each other on the weekend. So these are all things that when I say being away, doesn't necessarily mean that so-and-so's got to leave to go
in a
and
different
work.
country.
Yeah. This is just a being away from each other in general. Like we're away from each other for 24 hours sometimes. And
you keep saying that and it's not that drastic.
no, I'm not saying it as drastic. I'm saying it as how non-drastic it is. Like we're away for only 24 hours and we'll do this.
Yeah, we still dirty text every night when I'm away.
Yeah.
And it's just a good thing to do. It doesn't mean if you're somebody who's like, I don't actually think I want sex tonight, but I'm kind of feeling a little bit like it today.
Well, we'll have times where we're in bed and I'm really not feeling it that night and I'm ready to turn over and go sleep, but you want to touch yourself or something. So you'll touch yourself and you'll just be like, tell me your favourite time of us fucking someone else, or tell me your favourite time when I made you come, and I'll just tell you of that. And
then before you know it, I'm inside
and you're done.
No. But yeah, that's it. And it's just a really, really good tool. And it's the base principle of it is communication. And that's where I feel like if people could hone this a little bit, they'd probably end up opening a lot more doors or a lot more understanding about one another. The scarily high number of people that would say like, I don't do dirty talk or anything. I'm like, oh, what do you talk about? What do you know about your partner? Like, what are they into? They're like, well, just normal stuff. And I'm like, what's normal, bruv? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, just like sex. I'm like, so you've just basically, sex is just the umbrella term for absolutely everything sexual that we discuss on here. We've managed to make a podcast out of the things that come under the umbrella sex. So there's a whole host of it. Like, delve into it. Don't be shy. And there is like a confidence thing, I'm sure, in a lot of people. This is why this podcast, I feel, is important to help people open up those conversations with each other. But dirty talk's like the key to it.
I mean, I've had friends for me saying like, oh, he's asked me to talk dirty and I don't know what to say, so I just ignore him. It's like, I get it, but it's almost like, I understand because people don't know. They might be scared that like we said a moment ago, they'll build it up in their head that they've got to come up with so many elaborate stories and they've got to really use their imagination, where I think just telling people it is as simple as talking about the last time you two had sex together and slowing it down. Hasn't got to be crazy.
Get the information from them.
Yeah.
What would you want me to do to you if I was there? Yeah, you like it? Would you want me to, if they're like, oh, I'd want you to suck my dick. You're like, oh, would you like me to lick your balls as well? What happens if I like spit on your dick and get it really wet? Would you like that?
Yeah, talk about the tempo of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then they'll give you more and then be like, what would you want me to do next? And they're basically the ones talking dirty to you. They're giving you all the lead-ons and all you've got to do is just rehash what they've said in different words.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's so simple. So if you want to like sign up to my workshop of Dirty Talking with Luke, just hit us up and we'll get people in for that. But no, that's, again, if that's something that you feel that you struggle with and you want some advice, hit us up, because I really enjoy it.
I know you do.
I really enjoy it, and I think it's really important.
Do you know what would be a nice, like, a funny thing? I don't think you would like this at all, but I think some people would like it. If you was to surprise your person by texting them a little scenario, like obviously dirty, about what you want to do to them, get them horny, and then don't respond to him for a couple of hours and let him sit there and brew.
My cogs were turning then, and I was like, why wouldn't I like this? And then you finished it up with don't reply. I'd throw my phone against the wall.
But it'll be brewing and they'll be like, I don't
care what country
I'm in.
I'm coming home. Yeah, I'm coming home and I'm putting you against the wall. So yeah, any thoughts on that? Let us know. But yeah, that was another good one. Nice. Right, into the naughty corner. Naughty.
Right.
I don't know what that was. Sorry, that was meant to be me tying.
That sounded like you like summoning a cat.
I was going to say summoning a camel for some reason. I don't know why. Thinking of the Mummy Returns.
I was thinking of the cats that you summon every day.
Okay. Anyway.
Anywho. Right. So my fiance, 22 male, asked me to give him alone time today so he could get off and watch porn. And I expressed to him that it makes me somewhat jealous and a little uncomfortable that he watches porn of other people, and asked me to leave him alone while he does. He said that he has had a porn addiction since he was 13, and it was unreasonable of me to make him feel bad because of it and not let him do it. I feel like I set a boundary, that it made me uncomfortable and he's ignoring it. Any advice? It's also not helping that he isn't intimate with me whatsoever and doesn't seem attracted to me physically at all. It just makes me uncomfortable that he isn't intimate and also has a high sex drive, that I'm never allowed to be part of this as his fiance.
Okay. Fucking hell.
Okay.
Right. So with this, I'm going to change the scenario.
Go on.
He's addicted to heroin.
Okay.
Would it just be a case of how do I live with this? Or would it be a case of we need to stop this and treat this?
Okay.
It's exactly the same.
An addiction of any sort.
An addiction of any sort is going to damage every relationship around you. So you're engaged to this person. She's 22?
22. So they're quite young still.
Still quite young, and that's not meant in a condescending way, but
no.
You are quite young.
My initial thing seeing 22 and then porn addiction is he's still essentially a horny teenager at that age.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite reached and peaked maturity.
Charles, I'm 35 and I'm still a horny teenager.
Yeah, I know. But so I think there's an element of that.
He hasn't learned how to be intimate because all of his intimacy has gone into porn.
And also by the age of 22, unless he's had some really quick growing up in his life, he hasn't learned any form of self-control or anything like that. Not just when it comes to porn, but anything you're still a child really at that age.
You are until you're about 25, 26.
Mentally, yeah.
Yeah, 25, 26 is when your brain sort of
so he's also
finishes developing.
Gonna struggle with any self-control.
But he's gonna be the kind of character, and this is maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. He's gonna be the kind of person, like I say, he's never had to put any form of he's never had to sort of put any thought into intimacy. Because he's got it from somewhere else. He's got it from a completely faceless, emotionless entity, which is porn. He doesn't need to consider her in this because she's not there for sex. He's getting his relationship side of things. He's getting support, however she's supporting him in a relationship, but he doesn't need the sexual side of it. So this is like, the advice can't be that great, I'm afraid. He even needs to sort this out. And get himself like treated. He needs to understand exactly how fucking severe this is. Because I'm sorry, but you can't marry somebody who's addicted to porn and doesn't want to touch you.
Yeah.
That is not conducive to a good and happy marriage.
There's no happy balance there.
Absolutely not. And
the thing is, she's clearly said that she has stated her boundary. She set her boundary and he's choosing to overstep that boundary and say, your boundaries are relevant. I need what I want out of this.
Because he's addicted. Because he's fully addicted. You know, if you've ever had to deal with somebody with addiction, people will go to whatever lengths and destroy whatever bridges that they've got in order to get that end product, which for him is porn. Yeah. He needs porn. And it's a growing addiction. We often talk about using porn as a way of understanding yourself and understanding different, exploring sexually, which is, if done healthily, absolutely great. We use porn, we don't need porn. The fact that he needs it is where it's an addiction and he needs either treatment or if he's unwilling to get treated, there's not much more we can say.
I actually know of someone who self-diagnosed themselves with a porn addiction, and the only thing they could do was go cold turkey by going to their phone contract people and put in a block that they were unable to remove on any adult websites because it was that tough for them.
Sure.
They knew that they would.
I had to get that taken off my phone when I first got it.
Because you wanted to watch porn.
Yeah. And I had to phone the guy. I had to phone them.
Oh no.
And he was like, "You're right." I was like, "Yeah, I need to take this. I've got like a parent blocker thing on my phone." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, no worries. I'll take that off for you." I was like, "Yeah, it's just because I do some online gambling. I just do some betting online on the football and stuff, nothing weird or anything." And he was like, "Yeah, mate. Yeah, sure." So what advice would you give this?
It's a tough one.
I know what I would say.
Whenever we receive stuff like this, I always have two minds, and I have the mind of being in that situation and wanting to fix it for him. And then I have the mind of if my friend came to me with this and me saying, he ain't good for you. And I'm always split with these kind of things with that.
It's very difficult for us and because I was thinking, honestly, word for word, I want to tell this girl the advice like she's my friend. Yeah. And how would I tell my friend?
That's
I would be cool to be kind. But then we're also in a position where we don't want to have a huge negative effect on somebody's life by the advice we give. We're not telling you to do what we say, but we're just giving you the advice that you've kind of asked for.
Yeah.
And I would personally, this geezer's showing a red flag parade like it's a communist party parade. This is not good. He's not willing to budge. He's not willing to compromise. He's completely shutting down how you feel, telling you that what you want doesn't matter. He's also neglecting you emotionally and physically. That's not good. You're 22. You've got the rest of your life.
So I do agree with you on that, like I said. But if we're not going to push that on her and we're going to go the other route, like trying to make a change here.
Yeah, ignore what I just said.
No, don't, because I think it is something to consider.
See I'm winking at the camera.
There we go. Your wink's so funny.
Why? Terrible audio. Go on, sorry.
Awful audio, sorry. So yeah, I would say if this was me and I was trying to fix it, I know you said that you've had these conversations with him. I'd focus less on the porn element of it right now, and I'd ask him straight up, why aren't we having sex? Because I really want it, and it seems like it's not wanted from your point of view. I'd focus my initial conversations around our intimacy and not focus on the porn element of it right now. He's probably going to get his back up.
Yeah.
But I'd try and prod initially my questions around that. And it all depends on what he comes back with there. But if he comes back with anything along the lines of eventually that he wants to resolve that and he wants to, jump on the intimacy train with you, there's so many things you can do to ignite a spark there, reignite a spark. We said in the last episode about a hard reset and wooing each other and trying to bring that. I know you keep shaking your head at me, but this is if he's openly saying, yeah, I agree, there's an issue here and I would like to try and fix the intimacy side of things. Because if it goes really well and goes along that avenue and you can ignite a spark there again, the porn might not be needed as much in that time. And if you're on better grounds when it comes to broaching that conversation about the porn, it's going to be a little bit easier than doing it when everything's at the bottom.
So my point, I wasn't shaking my head at that necessarily. I mean, if he's your one true love and, you decided to marry this person, that's a huge commitment. That is the rest of your life. Imagine if you live to 80, you're a quarter of the way through your life. You've got 75% of it to go. So if that's the person you want to spend that 75% with, that's good. Do those things, fight for them. And I do not in any way want to try and, break relationships down or just tell people, just get rid of, as soon as there's an inconvenience, get rid. But in the same sense, he's got an awful lot of work to do. I don't feel like you've necessarily got a lot of work to do here. You've tried to communicate with him. You've explained exactly where you are. You've set clear and concise boundaries. So you need to tell him, I'm where I am. You need to meet me here. You need to come all the way over to me. There is no meet in the middle. There is no compromise. There is no, 3 nights a week, you can just go and wank yourself silly to porn and I'll put up with that. If that's not going to work for you, you might be okay with that. I doubt it. But you need to say, this is where I'm at. This is what I want in a relationship for the rest of my life. This is the marriage I want. This is what I want my children to be brought up around. This kind of happiness, this kind of security, this kind of trust. This is where I am. You need to come all the way here or you need to go somewhere else.
I know what you're saying. And I think for me, I'm not saying this has worked in the past because clearly I've had a lot of failed relationships.
Yeah, not that many.
But
you just dated fucking losers. I'm joking. Sorry to Chelsea's exes that listen.
None of them are going to listen to this.
They probably do. Everyone's obsessed with you.
And I do agree with what you're saying again, but I'm more of a let's get round to that in a gentle way, which is why I'm saying I see the bigger problem here is the porn. But if you can look at another area just as like your intimate sex, and instead of coming onto him like you're obsessed with porn, like I want you to stop watching porn, it makes me feel uncomfortable, you're immediately like putting him down. And I'm not saying she needs to tiptoe around him because he's obviously the one with the issue here, but that's why I'd be like, I really want to have sex with you and it's not working at the moment. Why aren't we doing it? I'd fix the smaller issues before you go to the greater issue.
Yeah, I think that's definitely...
just how I do conflict.
I think this is a perfect example of the difference between a male and a female perspective, where you're much more nurturing.
Yeah.
I'm much more cutthroat.
Yeah. And it's whichever one you want to go with.
Yeah, well, you can find the middle ground in that, but I don't think porn's the problem, personally. I think the problem is his complete lack of care for your physical and emotional needs.
I do agree, but sometimes you have to nurture a man to
Well,
You've literally got to pull him along with a carrot and be like, come on this way. We're going to make you better. We're going to make you great. Like, come on, I'll help you.
Yeah.
It takes, what's the saying? Behind every great man's a greater woman or something. Yeah. And unfortunately, we do have to put up with a lot of men's shit, and we do mould some good men out of it. So
yeah,
it could be a situation of that.
I mean, I hope it works out for you. I really do. I just hope that you get what you need.
Yeah.
Because you're the person in need of the help here. He needs help with his addiction, but you are suffering because of it.
For sure.
So let us know if you want any more scope on that. If you feel that's not quite answered what you want, or you've got a further take on it, or just feedback. We love to hear it. Next one.
I like this one.
Okay.
I
don't know if I know this one, do
I?
No.
So how do I, 29 female, tell my new friends with benefits I've been masturbating to him, 29 male, without sounding creepy? So I hooked up with a guy that I went to high school with. We were friends throughout high school, and I always thought he was hot but never acted on it. Fast forward to last month. I was nearly 4 years of a sexual dry spell and finally slid into his DMs and asked to hang out. It went so great, I broke my dry spell and I'm dying to do it again. I can't stop thinking about his body and haven't been this horny since I was a teenager. I've been pleasuring myself to him non-stop, which is something I never felt the urge to do before. How do I phrase that in a sexy way to him without sounding like a creep? We're hanging out on Tuesday, but I want to let him know how much this waiting is killing me. I'm not trying to be boyfriend or girlfriend or anything like that. I don't want him to think I'm in love with him. I'm just insanely attracted to his body and all that. He's not a big texter, and I'm not into sending nudes or anything like that. Thanks in advance.
Class.
Love it. I can relate.
Yeah, you've had some dry spells in your time, haven't you, my love?
Yeah.
So it's not creepy at all.
No, I feel like any man would love to hear that.
I'm so confused. Yeah, you just literally, from what I've just said at the start of the episode about dirty talk and things like that, you just need to broach it and be like, "What? Guess what I did this morning?" And he's like, "What?" Be like, "I woke up thinking about you, and it made me really wet." He's not going to be a big texter, but I bet he starts texting a lot after that. Like, all right, tell me more. What are you saying? And then you just say like, "Oh, I think about you like a lot sexually." And then you can put in brackets like, "Don't worry, there's no feels. I just love your dick." You know, and that's all men need. We're very, very simple. We're very much, you say how you feel, and that's good. You know, we don't do. Women are the kind of tend to be, and I'm probably generalizing, they'll be feminists trying to hunt me down and kill me, but women tend to be the overthinkers.
Yeah.
Men tend to be much more, face value. So just tell him, be like, "Fucking hell, you make me wet and I want to fuck. And when I can't fuck, I touch myself and I think about you whilst I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And you don't have to send nudes or anything. Again, a decent verbal description is enough.
Well, I was going to come on to that. So this is a similar situation to you and I. I had a dry spell and you turned me on a lot and I touched myself to you.
What can I say?
At first, I was very against sending any nudes or anything. We talk a bit, we got around it, but we talk dirty, but I wouldn't send you any pictures. No. See, it hasn't got to be a thing. And like we said in the dirty talk thing, like I said, send him a message one morning of, so last night I couldn't get to sleep and I was thinking about our meet on Tuesday. Got me feeling really horny, so I touched myself to the thought of your body. See you Tuesday.
Yeah, I came so hard.
Yeah.
Tuesday's going to be great.
You don't have to have more of a conversation. There doesn't have to be a conversation flow, really. Just I was thinking about you and it made me orgasm. And
you can see him more than he kind of recommends. If he's like, "Oh, I'll see you next week," you can go, "Well, actually," you can just message him on like the day and be like, "I need some dick today. I need it." Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I need you to come see me at some point.
Girly, I need some dick tonight.
Yeah, I literally come see me, or I'm going to come see you. I need half an hour with you. That's it. Mm-hmm. Don't need to hang out. I don't need to really know how your day was. I just need you to fuck me, or I need to suck your dick, or I need you to eat my pussy, whatever. that's it. But it's not creepy. This literally buys in perfectly to what I was saying about the dirty talk. It's the confidence.
Yeah.
It's not creepy. It's probably creepier for a man to say it to a woman. But then I don't know, if you're friends with benefits, I don't think it is creepy.
No,
You've already developed that sexual bridge with each other.
Maybe if you're dating, that hasn't been established yet. But friends with benefits. But if you're just
friends with benefits and you fucked, you just be like, I woke up hard as fuck thinking about you this morning. People love to hear that. It's a lovely little ego boost to be like, oh, you think I'm that hot that you got wet over me? All right, okay, I'm turned on now.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, yeah, you could. I feel like there's still like a dampener on women masturbating in some places. People will think like it's wrong for women to admit that they masturbate a lot.
Okay.
But then I've also got female mates who are like, yep, I wank every day. I have to, and you can just say like, yeah, I touch myself quite a bit. But now I just think about you because your dick game's off the charts, and
boost that ego.
Yeah, it is. But he's not going to turn around and be like, oh shit, this girl's falling in love with me. He's going to be like, this girl thinks I'm the shit.
As long as you're using the correct terminology, he's not going to think you're falling in love with him.
Absolutely. If you're like, I love
if it's focused
intimacy.
all around his dick and not his personality.
Yeah, just spell his name wrong in a message. You know what I mean? No, don't do that. But it's not creepy. It's not creepy. And you are, you're having a great time. And I'm so glad you're out of your dry spell.
Yeah.
You're probably overthinking it because you've gone through a dry spell.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, I don't want to not do that again. I don't want to lose that and fuck it up. How do I navigate these waters? Really simply, direct, filthy texts. Don't have to send nudes. Don't have to say too much if you're not comfortable. You need to say to him, I woke up, or last night I was thinking of you, really turned on, touched myself, and I came so hard. I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like, don't follow up the next day with like, how's your day going?
Yeah.
That's when men will be like, I think she's into me, She
Mm.
wants to know about my day. She wants to know how I'm feeling. She's asked my star sign. Like, don't worry about any of that. Just be like, when's that dick coming round?
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? They'll be like, oh, I'm going with the lads. You'd be like, cool. When can you fit me in? I need to get dick down.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. I think that was a pretty straightforward one.
Yeah. I think I've said dick so many times in the last 2 minutes. We bleeped that out. It would just be one long bleep. Okay. What are we on to next? Slippery when wet?
We are on slippery when wet.
Oh, yeah. I'm not touching my nipples. I'm just
you
stretching.
You were so touching your nipples then. He's like, oh, yeah.
I was stretching. My nipples. Oh, come on. Slippery when wet. Hit me up.
Right. I'm an emotional crier.
Why did you look at me like that? You literally just like glanced across at me like you're about to say the filthiest shit. Come on.
I'm an emotional crier.
You're going to get our listeners turned on. We already know that's an issue.
Okay. And can't stop tearing up pretty easily. RSPCA advert, old people by themselves, a small disagreement. It could be anything.
This is me when I'm hungover, by the way.
Yeah.
Like watch a fish and chips advert and it's got a really happy family. I'll just break down in tears.
My partner and I went through a really stressful period a few weeks back, and there was a lot of arguing, many of which I'd end up crying mid-fight. We were also big fans of make-up sex. We shout at each other, I'd cry, he'd cuddle me. We'd realise it was bullshit fight about money. We'd have sex. We repeat this 1 to 2 times a month.
Nice.
Fast forward a year, and every time I cry, he gets turned on. We have accidentally Pavlovaed my boyfriend into getting an erection when tears rolling down my face.
Wow. I get this.
I know you spoke about this to me a couple of times, haven't you? We spoke about it the other night about people. No, it was literally this morning, I think, about.
Was it?
When people die.
Oh, so that's slightly different, but yeah. Mm. So there's like a thing about grief. I didn't realise it was an anime I'm watching.
Oh, that's it,
and it's fucking sick. It's the best anime I've ever watched. Bar Sword Art Online. But anyway, they were basically saying that when you are heightened with grief, your urges to reproduce become so massively heightened because you realise the sort of finite nature of life, and you realise how short life is in a chestnut, and your body's like, death's around the corner. We need to make babies. So everyone gets really horny.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to crying, obviously, again, this person's been conditioned into tears means sex.
Yeah.
And make-up sex.
A dog with a True.
Yeah, Pavlov's dogs. But you know, when it comes to like makeup sex bangs. You know, because you're at a heightened state.
I get why people love makeup sex. I do, but for me, my grudge is still there. I'm like, don't fucking touch me.
I know we've never had. Have we ever had makeup sex? We don't really argue though, do we?
We don't argue, but I just can't get on. I understand why people do, but it's just I can't for me because I'm still pissed off. You've turned me off with my anger.
But that's where someone who's emotionally intelligent can transition their anger. You transition your anger into lust.
Yeah.
Those two things are so closely aligned. You know what I mean? When you're so infuriated with somebody,
It's
especially somebody you love.
emotion.
Exactly. Especially somebody you love. And then suddenly you have that switch where you both kind of look at each other and go, this is bullshit. What we're fucking arguing about is bullshit. But you're still, your adrenaline's up. You know, you're still in that sort of fight or flight mode, and you're fighting. And then suddenly you're
boners.
like, exactly, adrenaline boners. Yeah, we talked about that before in Afghanistan. But yeah, and then suddenly it's just like, let's fuck. Because before, when you hated each other at such a heightened point, you now love each other at such a heightened point. That's what it is.
I get it.
That's fucking sick. I get that. I had a mate who used to have a kink of women crying.
Oh, right.
And he went to meet a woman. He won't listen to this for sure. I know he won't.
Okay.
He went to meet a woman who had a kink for dirty hands with men.
Okay.
So he had to wait outside her house till like the time, and he had to like get his hands in the mud and get his hands all mucky. And she was watching like Marley and Me or something to make sure she was crying when he turned up. Yeah. So he fucked her while she was crying.
That's
and like choked her with dirty hands. He was like, he came back, we were working together, and he came back to where we were staying. And I was like, how'd it go? He's like, yeah, good. Yeah, it was pretty much exactly what we both wanted. I was like, you going to see her again? He's like, no, I've deleted her number. No, she's deleted mine. We're not doing that ever again. We both know that. Yeah, amazing. Okay.
Cool. Oops, wrong hole.
Oops, wrong hole. Let's get into the fucking juicy shit.
Alrighty. Me and my husband went away for a night to an awards evening. After winning the award and celebrating with far too many shots, we decided to take it to the hotel room. Getting down to business, we decided to introduce a butt plug. After having it inserted in the height of passion, we went at it hard. Once we had finished, we cleaned up, got into bed, put away our various toys minus the butt plug. With the room spinning and fatigue setting in, we decided to find the rest of our toys in the morning. Fast forward a couple of hours, I was staggering to the loo. Still pissed, I sat on the toilet and felt as if I needed a number 2. After bearing down, I heard a big plop and the water splashed up and hit my butt. Still pissed, I went back to bed. When we woke up in the morning, with the most horrendous hangovers, we packed up our bag along with our toys, but still no sign of the butt plug. Then it hit me like a slap in the face. The realization that the plug had gone up my arse mid-session, remembering the line of, "Where has it gone mid-session?" by my husband. The butt plug had disappeared up my arse. With being so drunk, I couldn't decide if it was the butt plug or a poo, which disappeared down the loo early hours. We spent the rest of the day Googling, how do you know if you have a butt plug stuck in your ass? After sweating it out for a day, I finally had a normal bowel movement, which was the most relieving one of my life, knowing that the plug was not stuck up there anymore. Fair?
Amazing. That's, yeah, fair. We all fuck like porn stars when we're drunk.
Oh, yeah. And you memory loss of what we did.
Yeah, Jesus.
I wonder, I'd love to know how many times that is Googled. Like how often it's Googled. Like how to know if a butt plug's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, the only real way to know is either X-ray or fish around, you know? Get a couple of digits up there and try and find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, God.
Bless
Fair
him.
play. Fair play.
All right, next one. I was having sex with a girl in Magaluf. Mid-flow, I noticed it seemed to be soaked down there.
Oh, God, we know where this is going.
So I looked down to find out and I had completely split my banjo open.
Oh, not where I thought it was going.
And was bleeding everywhere. We stopped and I ran to the toilet to sort myself out. The next morning, I saw the girl and decided to dive into the pool to hide.
No.
Only to hit the water and be filled with regret as the chemicals from the pool hit the torn banjo. It was painful to say the least.
My brother, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oops, wrong hole's meant to be funny stories, not stories that make me want to weep in solidarity with the boys.
He made such a schoolboy by wanting to hide.
I don't know how he didn't know it happened. That's a really
Adrenaline.
horrible tear.
Adrenaline.
Alcohol, I think, probably. It's manipulative.
Yeah.
And then in the pool the next day, instant regret. I knew it as soon as he said he was diving in the pool.
Bless him. So if you snap your bandage, you need to have it medically treated,
No,
or
it just needs a lot of rest. It's never happened to me, but I've been around lads that it's happened to.
I know people it's happened to. Yeah.
And it just needs a lot of rest.
Bless.
It's not like a snap, it's more of a tear, I think, on the initial surface layer of skin. We won't get into the anatomy of it. It's boring, it's not sexy.
Right. My ex was a screamer, and every time she came, without exception, my dog would howl in sync with her scream. Didn't matter where in the apartment we were. I can only imagine what the neighbours thought.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fucking animals.
Animals ruin sex.
They do.
There is such a thing as too much volume, though, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
It takes my mind off things. I'm thinking about the neighbours all of a sudden.
I can take it up sometimes, and I have to put my hand over myself.
Yeah, or I do it for you.
Yeah, but you just don't realise you're doing it.
Must be nice. Because I'm thinking about, God, I wonder which side of the neighbours, is that where their kid sleeps in the room next to ours? We live in a terraced house. You know, people are going to hear this shit. Yeah. But like we spoke about before, we used to hear neighbours in my old house fucking all the time. So
it's part of life.
It's part of life. Hey, I don't care, but still. It's just awkward when you go outside and you make full eye contact with the neighbours, having just had an absolute hour-long screaming sesh of banging. So
basically after you have sex and you've been screaming, just don't leave the house for at least 12 hours, let them forget about it, and then you can greet them.
Yeah, if you've got work or anything, if it's a morning session, you're fucked, call in sick. Just work from home.
Right, we got two more,
let's do it.
My college girlfriend was giving me head one morning after my roommate left for class. As I'm about to come, my roommate walks back in our room. My girlfriend flew off me, grabbed the blanket and pretended to be asleep, leaving me completely uncovered. My roommate and I make direct contact as I finish all over myself.
Direct eye contact?
Yeah.
That's a development of a kink. That's exhibitionism.
His roommate saw his soul leave his body that day.
And the thing is, once you start coming, there's not much you can do. It's just, it just comes out. And then you're just staring at this person like,
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'd be fuming at you if you did that. Cover us both. Give me some dignity. Or just keep your mouth where it is and I'll just tell him to fuck off.
I once walked in on a friend having sex with his girlfriend at the time, and she rolled over pretty much like this girl did, didn't see anything, and he got up and grabbed a hairspray can and just stood there with it in front of his dick.
Do I know him?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right, last one. Lady friend on top going bananas on the verge of orgasm.
Don't snap his dick.
Grandmother walks in.
Oh, fuck, not where I thought it was going.
Looks amazed, walks out, and then says, I didn't know you had a visitor. I jump up and lock the door. Mood killed, but we get back into it.
How?
Fair. Maybe 20 minutes after the first surprise entrance, Grandma walks in again.
We locked the door.
Mid-coitus like before. Fucking faulty door lock. Lady friend was not pleased and I caught hell. However, grandmother was late stage Alzheimer's at that point. No new memories formed beyond 5 minutes or so, which is why she walked in the second time. And that's how I sleep at night, knowing that the image never got recorded in her brain.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
Oh, poor grandma.
Still, the fact that they got back into it that's the real hero story here.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Right, yeah, thanks for all those submissions. They're fantastic. They're fucking great. Grandma, bless her, just wandering around the house confused. And see their grandson banging away.
But he's got a reason to sleep at night, as horrible as it is.
She can't remember. You can still make eye contact with her. So if you want to submit to us, you jump onto
iotk.fun,
nice.
FUN.
And if you want to hit us up on socials,
Ironing Out the Kinks, all one word, on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok.
Nice. And any of the platforms that you're listening on, which we know there are plenty, please like, subscribe, and if you feel so inclined, share it. Share it about. You don't have to tell people you're a kinky bastard. You can just share it to those that you know are kinky bastards. But yeah, no, we really appreciate all the listeners. We really appreciate all of the support and the love that we get.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just are so grateful for all of you for the submissions and all of that good stuff. All right, we do appreciate you, which sounds cliche, I know. But when I hear people that I listen to on podcasts say it, I'm like, you don't fucking know me. You don't like me. Genuinely, each and every person, I'm like, genuinely, we look at our stats throughout the day and we'll be like, so many people listen to us every day.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
amazing.
It blows my mind. It really does.
Genuinely means the world to us.
Because like I always think, oh, like our friends listen to it, and then when we've had like 600 listens in a day, and I'm like, well, we don't have 600 friends between us. There's some randomers out there listening.
That's it. When we get nearly 10,000 in a month, and you're like, I don't know 10,000 people.
No.
I don't know 10,000 people. So, yeah, we really appreciate it. Really, really are glad that we can open up a conversation with so many people.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's helping people. So, yeah, as always, stay happy, keep fucking.
Bye.
Bye.